The gulls. The fucking gulls. I am proud of the fact that I called this. I see patterns and signs. I'm like, what movie's that? Then is it the Nick Cage one? Where he figures out the numbers?
What, Da Vinci Code?
No, you fucking head. The
Call of Duty single player, what are the numbers, Mason?
Yeah, that one. No, you know where he figures out the numbers, and it turns out that the fucking numbers are coming and knowing. That's it. Thank you, Vizul.
23 by Jim Carrey.
No. That was I think that was a similar thing.
That was him.
But yeah, knowing is the one. Knowing is basically this movie, right, where he looks at all these mathematical patterns and in this fucking hidden equation that I haven't seen this movie in years. It's garbage. It's not worth a rewatch. But it's Nick Cage. You got to do it once. And he basically sees the numbers, and you can take the mathematical numbers and figure out what's happening next. Knowing, and it's always a disaster. Tells you the disaster, how many when the disaster's going to happen, and how many people are going to die. Yeah, you know what I mean?
I remember.
Yeah. I'm like that guy. I'm like Nick Cage in that movie because I knew this was coming with the Seagulls.
And you knew at least one dog was going to die. You were told.
Yeah, I said. What did I say? Go back, pull it up, Jamie. I said they're going to kill dogs next. And I said, and it won't stop there. Next will come for kids. And they have, Sam. So for those who don't follow the show regularly, and maybe you tune in for the first time, about 3-4 episodes back, I said to Sam, there's been a worrying spate of bird attacks. There's been a worrying spate of bird attacks, mostly from seagulls. And it's happening in America, and it's happening in Britain, and it's happening in Europe. It's happening all over the world. The gulls are mobilizing, and they are attacking mankind. What's happened in the, since we started covering this story was the mainstream media picked up on it. Obviously, they all watched the show. And, it's escalated. We had a seagull literally pluck a chihuahua called Gizmo out. Gizmo's dead, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Spoiler. Gizmo's not coming back.
Rest in peace, Gizmo.
Yeah, R.I.P. Gizmo. Miss you, dude. This seagull plucked a fucking chihuahua, right, out of a garden called Gizmo, ate the cunt, and then they flew back. This is the mental part, guys. Flew back and dropped Gizmo's paw in the garden where they abducted him from.
Sending a message. What?
Sending him a message.
$10,000 in the next 5 hours. You never see Gizmo again.
Go watch the shows, guys, if you haven't already seen them. It's a mad story. And just in general, they're fucking, at best, you're trying to have some chips on a beach and they're swooping down and pecking your eyes out and eating your chips and that. And enough's enough for me. Again, I'm worried about Twitch TOS, but I'm just sick of seagulls. We got to rise up. We got to claim this land.
Just got to say, but watch out. Just be on the watch out for seagulls attacking you, but.
There was another story where an old couple, which was like an 80-year-old bedbound woman and like a 90-year-old man or something who had to go get their medication, was trapped in his house for 3 days because he had gulls nesting on his roof. And every time he tried to go out to shopping, they would swoop on him and peck him, and he had to go back in the house. So he had to do a barrel roll into his garage, leave the garage door open out, and just try and fucking get in his car and get to the shops. That's mental. That's fucking mental. He called up the council and he said, look, these birds are attacking me and my wife's going to die. She can't have her meds. And they went, well, they're a protected species. Why? There's plenty of them, fucking hell. We're not going to run out of gulls anytime soon, are we?
Also, what's the law, but we need to have distinguishment on what the fuck the law is. It can't be you can never kill a seagull butt. Because I'm telling you, if it's me or a seagull, but if it's me or a seagull butt, if it's killing me and I murder a seagull out of self-defense, I'm going down, but there's no way. You're
probably getting gull slaughter for that. It's 4 years.
Minimum, it's 2 years good service,
Yeah. That's just how it is. That's the law. The law's on the gull side. That's the worst. That's the madness. That's the madness. Captain Never Lucky, get out my chat. He just said you're going to be found guilty. That's outrageous. That's a level of fucking punnery that is just unacceptable in these parts. Get out of here. But anyway, we got to do something about it. And I like animals, but there comes a point. It's just weird, isn't it? Because Rats are really intelligent. I'm gonna go out on a limb here. I'm not a scientist. It's always good when it starts like that. It's like being a right-wing conservative talking point guy. That is like, no, I'm not a scientist, but I'm pretty sure I can now lecture you about the nature of biology. Okay, but what I mean is, I'm not a scientist, right? But rats are smarter than seagulls,
definitely,
right? 100%. We're 100% on that. And think about what rats get. Their lot in society.
But if you stomped on a rat's head tomorrow, but you could
applause.
go to the RSPCA, but and bring them the dead rat, but cash in hand, they'd probably say, "Oh, cheers for that. Thanks for getting rid of the vermin."
Remember, that's how Dust Moret. That's why you can stay in esports. That's why you can stay in esports because of that law.
Just smash.
You know, down in Louisiana, no one's saying all them fucking beaver rat hybrids are fucking. You know, I bet they're super intelligent. They build little houses. You know, if they had a cartoon, you'd be like, oh, look at the nutria with their teeth and that, right? But no one gives a fuck. You cut the tails off, kill them, trade in the money. Everyone wins.
Exactly.
Right? Also, there's, one of the biggest victims of animal testing, which sometimes, listen, if it's a choice between a few animals having a bad time and getting a cure for cancer, I'm a bit of a speciesist, I suppose. I'll take that one on the chin. But when it's like, we're trying to design a new kind of perfume, and you're just spraying rats in the eyes, it melted their face off. So we're not going to use that chemical. It's like, come on, mate. Like, fucking hell, this is outrageous. You know what I mean? But we literally, we just don't think anything right. We use rats for chemical testing. We use rats for medical testing. Rats live in the sewers. Rats are basically like an intelligent mammal that are very actually, you know, if you've ever seen pet rats, if anyone's had a pet rat, there'll be at least one in the chat who's had a pet rat. They're really warm. They're nice creatures. They're social. And that's what we've done to them. Meanwhile, seagulls out there eating fucking dogs. And we got a law that says if you kill a seagull that's eating your dog, you can go to jail. Nah, there's something wrong with. We live in a society. This is what that Joker movie's going to be about. I haven't seen it yet, but that's actually what pushes him over the edge. He's just out there.
Every time
and he fucking gets
chips.
it. Like that fella down on the beach, he gets it by its legs. Get off, you daft bastard! Yeah, and he smashes it onto a wall, and then he goes, well, we're gonna have to find you there, Mr. whatever the character's name is in this movie, Mr. J. Kerr, Mr. Joseph Kerr, and because it's Hollywood and everything, so they fucking. He's like, but I've got no money, and my family's sick, and you know, it was just a seagull. Seagulls have rights, more rights than you. You're the real vermin, Mr. Joseph Kerr. And that's when he puts on the clown makeup and he goes, we truly do live in a society. You want to know how I got these scars? Big fucking seagull. Big fucking seagull.
I had a large chip buddy in this hand. And a large battered sausage in the other. I had no hands to defend myself.
My father was a seagull fancier. You know what I mean? So anyway, the fucking, you know, that enough's enough, man. It's pushing me over the fucking edge. That the fact that there's all these like protections for seagulls, and the seagulls, they're not grateful. They don't know. They don't think, right, we'll dial it down a little bit and stop eating actual fucking dogs. They don't care. Do you know what I mean? We just gotta dial back those. Look, they are not a protector. I do not give a fuck. No, right? If I can't count, if I go to the beach and I can't count how many there are, they're not a protected species. If it's like puffins or whatever, where you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, there's 5 of them, yeah, they're protected. Seagulls, fucking millions of the cunts. That's not how protected. Do you know what I mean? I can count them. I can count a puffin. I can't count the fucking gulls.
It's literally too many. They haven't got enough food left. That's why they're eating dogs. It's literally too many seagulls. Cull those gulls, but.
And I listen. And I'm just sick of, we've just rolled with it. Humankind has just rolled over. It's like, I don't know. There's an episode of The Outer Limits. God, I'm mentally ill. Why have you not intervened and stopped me? I'm talking about Bagel Boss. Like this is a podcast. I'm talking about killing seagulls, and I'm watching Outer Limits episodes. These are red flags, Sam. You've got to stop me. You've got to get me in a home. I can't do it anymore. Anyway, right? I just hate that there was this episode of The Outer Limits, right? The 1995 remake, not the original, and great stuff. And basically, these aliens come down and they suck up like a town into like a bubble, and they're in a bubble and no one knows why. And then they get one guy who's like well thought of and well regarded in the community. And the aliens are there, and they're these fucking wretched, like they're like Overwatch players, you know what I mean? They're just like weaklings, and they're just in these like life support machines. And they're going, "We have searched the universe for a slave race that could exist on our planet. No one has ever been suitable. Will humanity be suitable? We will see soon. We will expose you to our environment." They have like withered arms and that, you know. So anyway, this geezer goes back to the fucking church where everyone's congregated because they think it might be some sort of celestial intervention from God. Spoiler, it's aliens. And he goes, "Listen, we're just a sample. They've just took our town, and soon we're going to be exposed to their environment, right? And if we're deemed to be suitable as slaves, they're going to come back and get the rest of mankind." Now, while this has been going on, the main dude's daughter managed to get from bubble to bubble. And in this other fucking bubble, there's a sea-bound race.
Right.
And all blue. And they're like Overwatch players too, because they've got all this weird crusty shit all over their skin. And he's lying on a beach and going, "Oh, without our introduction to our natural environment, we get this disease called Overwatch, and it destroys our flesh. It's contagious. I'm sorry. I have touched you. You have it now." So his daughter's got the fucking flesh Overwatch disease, right? So he hooks up with his daughter again and says, "Listen, guys, we can spread this disease among ourselves. The aliens will think it's because of their environment and they'll leave mankind alone." And the head of the church is going, "But no, surely we're mankind. We'll just be slaves for a while, and then our indomitable spirit will rise up and will kill the aliens. Better to be slaves and alive than dead and to have no hope whatsoever." And anyway, the main dude goes, "I'm going to hold my daughter's hand. Will anyone join me?" And they all join. And they all get the disease, and the aliens leave mankind alone. But that guy in the church is the same guy on planet Earth now going, "No, but if we just try and live with the seagulls." There's no living with the seagulls, is what I'm trying to say. We cannot roll over, but we're rolling over, Sam. I'm going to show you something that's mental. Birmingham City Council, mate, put out because we get gulls up there. They put out a fucking, primer. How to avoid being attacked by seagulls. Mate, there's 2 words for this. Chin them. You just chin them. Seagull swoops down. Digs. Sorted. Stiff arm. But anyway, Birmingham. Just look. Look, just listen to this. It's mental. Birmingham. But it's on Birmingham Live. How to survive a seagull attack. What you should do when threatened by birds during a heat wave. Again, fight back.
Digs.
But no. Right? It talks about the gizmo dog. Sad. Still sad about that. Because I like chihuahuas. Not everyone does, but I like them. No, I do. I like them. Any dog that is that frail and weak, but has the fucking... wants to just fight everything. I'm with you, son. Give me 50 chihuahuas and I'll take over the world, mate.
Swear heads.
Oh yeah, they're the body that can barely support their head. Like Overwatch players, I call them Overwatch players. Anyway, right. Seagulls are not a bird with the best of reputations. No fucking shit. Right? And then Morwenna Aldis, spokesperson for the Royal Society for the Protection of Birds, said Personally, I love gulls. What a fucking traitor. What a traitor to mankind.
Evil.
Yeah, and she's probably Welsh. That's the worst part, like with a name like Morwenna. Personally, I love gulls. I like a bird with a bit of personality. You're pecking out eyes. That's not
stuff.
Right? And gulls have that in spades. She added, they're bombastic, cheeky, incredibly adaptable, opportunistic, intelligent, and if there was a prize for Bird Parent of the Year, protective urban gull parents would win. However, our urban gull is often misunderstood. We need to change the way we behave around gulls and try to live harmoniously alongside them. Outer Limits episode this is. It's just like the Outer Limits, Sam.
Except apparently Shaggy's involved, but full bombastic on his bed.
I know, innit? Where's the gola?
Mr. Bombastic stabbing up gull face.
And then look at this. How can I survive a seagull attack? Right? Agitated gulls will make warning calls first, encouraging you to move away. Well, fuck your day. Go into the shops and you hear gulls. Guess you ain't going to the shops anymore. Unlucky. If you stay put, the gull may swoop low towards you as a warning, but not touch you. If you still don't move, the gull may defecate or regurgitate food towards you. I mean, that's enough now. It's on at that point. It's on. Full fighting. It's on. If you haven't left by now, the gull will fly down and make contact with you, usually your head. Just the important thing. Just the thing that keeps me alive. Right? If a gull does come towards you, the best defense is to raise your arms and protect your head. Now,
as if they're giving the straight cover up Leland, but like talking about you, cover up Leland, the gulls are getting you cover up.
Cover up Leland. I got there, mates, Leland.
Cover up.
Waving your arms will only make the gull more agitated. Brilliant. If you have a gull's nest in your roof, you will come to learn what behaviours agitate them and may be able to adjust your routine to accommodate. I'm not doing it. Nah. They're getting off my roof, and anyone who rats me out to the fucking council, you're next. Like, fuck that. I just have to live like, yeah. Oh well, guess I can't leave the house wearing a red t-shirt. We'll try blue tomorrow. I'll just patch up my wounds, shall I? Like, what is this? Like. Hats and umbrellas. I can't. Hats and umbrellas work as easy shields.
That's a shield.
Hats and umbrellas work as easy shields if you think you will become a swooping victim in your garden. If a chick ends up in your garden and the parents are still feeding it, it's best to leave it alone and avoid, well, obviously. However, providing a shallow tray of water nearby will be helpful. Yeah, brilliant, yeah. Just have them over for tea.
Yeah, no one feeding the cunts. Fuck off.
Yeah, that'll definitely help. Feeding them, letting them know. Yeah, it's fine. Haha, you did get me right in the carotid, but you know what? Live and let live. Ridiculous.